Welcome everyone to the energy of the week. This is February 1st, and we're coming to you from everywhere in the world right now at this moment. We don't know where we are, but we are in different places. And the reason I'm saying that is because the energy everywhere, all over the world, has been very intense. It's not just in one spot. As I said on my previous energy of the week, that I haven't shared with the girls yet, it's that the energy is kind of divided, and you don't know if it's the dark or the white or the light or the dark. It's just so divided, you really don't understand where people are standing
Mm.
energetically. And so I have with me Kathy, Susan, and Suzanne, like we do once a month. And I'm going to have to ask Kathy to tell me what she feels and what she thinks about what I just talked about.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me because I've been feeling sort of these different polar energies. One's like a lot of re-energized energy of feeling motivated, wanting to recommit to things. Mercury, I think, just went into retrograde, so I'm sort of returning to my source. And at the same time, I feel like I'm sort of carrying this heavy burden of energy that I sort of felt like I was coming out of. So that sense of that division or that two different polar energies. And then you can feel that kind of reverberating around us as well. So, yeah, I relate to that quite a bit.
Yeah, thank you for that. But it's been all over the world. You can feel it. It's not just in Sedona. It's
Yeah.
not just in one spot. It's just the vibrations are coming in so strongly. And I'm just going to ask Susan what she thinks about that.
Well, this was the vision I got yesterday, which was a lovely vision. There are all these balloons floating around in the collective consciousness. And so as they're moving past, you get a pop one. And the surprise is whatever's in that balloon for you. And so you either get to keep that or you can pop some other balloons. But today it feels a little different. It feels because today is Imbolc, which is a pagan holiday, and it's
Mm.
that day of spring. So
Mhm.
it feels like things are trying to emerge from the surface, but there's still that tenderness of tending what it is that's starting to grow in the springtime.
I get it. I understand. So,
Mm.
Suzanne?
It's funny you should talk about balloons because what came to me was Tetris. Like, I think it's like, and going back to what Seppi said, how everybody's the energy is like light, dark, we don't know. Tetris of being able to take all those pieces and fit them together to make a perfect square. And
Mm.
I don't know which side I even walk on. This is the
Hmm.
weird thing. I don't even know which side I walk on. So I'm trying to live in strength and acceptance. And I don't know what I need to accept, but I'm trying to hold on to my strength until I know what that is, because I'm not really sure. I have to be honest with you. I am not really sure.
And
It's, yeah, it's crazy.
that's exactly the energy, and the balloons make sense. And the one you just talked about made sense. It's like it's kind of like we have to make a choice. That's what is kind of coming down, where which side we want to talk about or what side we want to have in our lives. And to I'm getting chills as I'm saying this, so I know it's true. Like we say that, but it's like we don't know where to go. We don't know, should we go to the dark, which is the past and our all energies and our all stuff that it feels so familiar, or
Right.
moving forward to this lightness, to this happiness. It's kind of like we're carrying things with us, you know. It's very interesting. I just want to say I did a meditation with my Greek group, and I had them carry, it's an interesting meditation, it's an active meditation. I had them carry 2 suitcases with bricks in it. And as they were walking, I was telling them they had to leave all this stuff which is negative. And it's interesting to see that some people kept because they liked the way the suitcases looked. That was very interesting. They kept a couple things that were just like words, because each thing had a word in it. And they kept all a couple negative things. The other ones kept like sand, filled up with sand and took a bath with them after they threw all those other, things away. It's kind of interesting to see where people are. Some of them just left them totally. So it's kind of interesting to see where we are right now. And I agree with you guys. We don't know yet. We don't know what to leave behind, what to carry, what to take with us. It's weird, Do we leave the left suitcase or we leave the right suitcase? It doesn't make sense anymore, That's what, I don't know if that makes sense what I'm saying, but that's how we are feeling. And any of you, Kathy?
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. It's like, in a way, we're starting a new decade. It's a sort of new beginning, and yet we are sort of stuck in our past just with everything that's happening in the world, and how we sort of find our way to reconcile that. And then at the same time, like what Susan was saying about it feeling really elemental too, like I feel like, we just had a big snow here and there's like sort of this whole sort of tumultuous energy that's helping us, I think almost like reconfigure ourselves. I feel like we're in that process, and in that process of reconfiguring, it's like Suzanne was saying with like, I don't know exactly where I stand, that we're sort of in this sort of soup, in this mud. And I love that image of throwing these bricks out of these suitcases, but the challenge in that, right, like you said, some people didn't want to let it go because maybe there's comfort, maybe there's familiarity, maybe there's security somehow in what is known, even if it's challenging, even if it's difficult. But to really abandon that and to walk freely and to sort of embrace the unknown, that's a big challenge. And I think maybe we're on the precipice, we're on that verge of some of that right now. So I appreciate all of the things that everybody's been talking about. I think it all sort of is starting to make sense out of this sort of very confusing and challenging thing to be faced with energetically.
Yeah, thank you. And Susan?
It's what is growing just below the surface. And then as it starts to really emerge, I've got this vision, it's like as it starts to emerge, does it want to fully bloom or does it want to go back down? It's like, no, I'm not quite ready for this emergence. Suzanne got something there. So that's why even the balloon popping that I saw, it's, do you want this, or are you happy with this one precious thing you just got? Or do you want something else that is in the collective consciousness? I think right now it's available to everyone. So it is, be careful what you pick and choose, because that may be your only opportunity at this point to take what was gifted to you.
Yeah. And Suzanne, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, both of you. And on a personal level, when you started talking about your meditation, before you even said that, I had my physical arms out like this, or my mental arms out like this, holding bags. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's talking about that. And then when you're talking about the disruption, and you're talking about the growth, and my feet, one on each on a plank that is separating as I'm doing the splits, and can I pull it back together? And then I'm leaving, can I pull it back together? But and my personal energy right now, I feel like I have to rethink everything. I have looked into the past, and I don't want to relive the past. That's the way I feel. And that's where I'm working. That's where my energy's working. And I think this is the perfect opportunity, like Susan said, and Kathy said, and you, Zephy, as well, is to be able to see what grows and don't push it back down and go to the same old BS that you've been living with all this time. Yeah. What really is on the other side?
Exactly. And the other thing that I've been feeling also, it's water energy, which is emotions, and it's like it's bubbling. It's like 3 weeks ago, I think it was an eruption. This one, it's slow cooking. I don't know if that you guys get that, what I'm saying. It's a slow cooking, like you have the water in the stove, and it's not going over the pan, but it's just right there, and it's a very interesting emotion for me to know that I'm going to explode or I'm not going, it's like that kind of that kind of thing. And yeah, exactly. And it's not exploding. It's not it's not about exploding. It's also about releasing. I think to me that feels better than exploding. It's about releasing all this stuff that we definitely need to release from the past and move into the future with just all this stuff that we don't need anymore, because we don't need it. We don't need a lot of stuff. And I mean, I'm not talking things, I'm talking emotions and negative feelings and judgments and all this stuff that we are kind of learn how to do in the third dimension. It's time. It's time. It's time to. And do you guys agree that we are in the between? Like we're like in the between the third and the fifth now. We're like in the fourth. That's how it feels to me. And people feeling that, but they don't know the difference between the third and the fourth. Like I'm talking about the world people, not people they're doing the work. Susan?
I'm just, my phrase is going to be on the verge of eruption. And then it's like, it's a slow boil, but is it going to erupt? Is it going to be very happy? Just continuing on with the slow burn, so to speak. So yeah, and I don't know about dimensions. I walk them all, so it's hard for me to figure out who's where. So I'm going to pass on that one.
Anyone, Kathy or Susan, wanted to add anything about the dimension part that we just talked about? Any of you?
I don't know what the dimension, but what it sort of struck in me is the sense of becoming. Like I feel like we're becoming, and but something really new. And so it's like this sense of, we're almost maybe another dimension altogether, like something undiscovered, something, but there's we have to reconcile our past to kind of get there. And that's why, I think it's interesting. We're sort of stepping into Mercury retrograde, where we're trying to move forward and yet the past is coming to us. And so that's, I guess, what I would say about that. I don't know if that speaks enough to what you're talking about. But.
I think so. Suzanne, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I really feel that now everybody has a mirror held up to them. Everything is a reflection of yourself right now, no matter where you are. So it doesn't matter if you're in the past or in the future or walking in the middle way. It doesn't matter. It's just a reflection. And how do you choose to take that image and flip it around and bring it into your life? What grows?
What grows? And what's going to come into the boiling? Is it going to boil, or is it going to settle down, or we're going to be able to make a choice? Yeah, absolutely. So what I want to offer to our viewers is we're going to start going live for everybody. And if you guys will be up for questions, and we're going to start that in the next couple of weeks, and we're going to let you know, because we really want to start our Ancient Healing Academy so we can start helping you really reach your goals in your spiritual path. Because to me, that's what the Ancient Healing Academy is important, to help you reach your goals of where you want to be. So in the next 2 weeks, just watch out for our email, and we're going to let you know that we're going live. And thank you for watching. Thank you, wise women, that you are with me, and we're doing this for everyone. I really appreciate you, love you, and we'll talk soon, everyone. Thank you.